My Dear Sarah, the final part. A story by E.B.'s Heart. Few years later, St. Mary's Girls' College was abandoned and the building started falling little by little. With Sarah's voice echoing through its environs, it became impossible for anyone to stay there even for a minute. June, whose conscience started disturbing because of what they did to Sarah, told her parents the truth. Her parents instructed her to shut up, unless she wants to spend the rest of her life behind bars. The guilt pushed her into hard drugs. When she finished high school, she got admitted into one of the universities in the country. Her parents used money to push her to that level, because she couldn't even pass her high school certificate exams. By the time she got to 200 level, she was already a serious drug addict. Her parents were not aware of how much damage they had done to her by suppressing her guilt. So one day while in school, she ran mad. She left her hostel in school and never returned. Her friends tried reaching her on the phone, but they found her phone in her room. Her parents were contacted 1 week later to know if she went home, but they were also alarmed because she was not with them. Then the search for June began, and she was nowhere to be found. They searched for almost 2 years, before she was found in another state, where she was living in a refuse dump. She was cleaned up and they started treating her. But few months later, she became really ill and died. Phoebe got married years later, but could not bear a child. Being an only child herself, her greatest desire was to have a child of her own. But 8 years after her marriage, none came. Her husband betrayed her by getting a younger woman pregnant, and this led her into severe depression, causing her to commit suicide. Their other friends Tina and Muna. Muna died while giving birth to her first child. She also lived with the guilt all her life, and dedicated her life preaching against bullying. And I am Tina, the fourth friend in this story. I still see Sarah anytime I am alone. She sits with me all night in my room every night crying. That was the amount of pain we caused. I didn't know what I was doing then, following my friends to torment another human being. My marriage lasted just for 3 years, because I couldn't bear children. I am scared of being happy, because it seems being happy hurts Sarah even more. That is why I started a foundation to spread kindness, especially among our young ones. Since I started this foundation, I have visited over 500 secondary schools. And Sarah no longer cries whenever she appears to me. She will simply sits in my room, while her eyes are glittering with joy. Finally, it's easier to be kind to one another than to be mean. Let us spread kindness today. Thank you. The crowd of students and parents stood up and gave her a thunderous round of applause.